Welcome to the, IAAPA 2021 Predictions live stream. I am your host, Carrick from Coaster Hour, and today for this stream, I have started it a little early, so for anyone who is here early, you can do Q&A. We're going to start off with a pre-stream Q&A. But basically what's going to be happening in this stream, and I'll really reintroduce it once again at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, is that I'm going to introduce the stream, then go into the news, because some of it does relate to what is going to happen at IAAPA. I'm going to go into what we know is actually going to happen at IAAPA. And then also, after I go through that, I will give you, the viewers, for the first time ever, an opportunity to call in and give your thoughts about the news and give your own IAAPA predictions, and then I'll go into my IAAPA predictions, and then after that we'll also do some more Q&A, YouTube shoutouts, and guess the coaster. So should be a pretty good stream today. Usually I do these on Saturdays, but I moved it to Friday because my poll told me that more people wanted to see it on Friday. So ask any questions you have, and then in about 10 minutes, we'll go into the real, sort of show, I suppose. RMC T-Rex announcement. I'll just say it's not one of my predictions. I am thinking about. You never know, but I don't necessarily see it. But who knows? Maybe. That would certainly be interesting for sure. But yeah, so for those who just got here, we're going to be doing Q&A before I really go into the real IAAPA predictions and stuff like that, and I'll kind of reintroduce the stream at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I just decided to kick it off with some pre-stream, I suppose, Q&A. I'm going to go into my Gerstlauer prediction has changed. I'm going to go into that. It is not going to be at Alabama Adventure. I can almost 100% say that at this point, because yeah, they're going to announce their attraction on Thanksgiving. I'll also give my prediction about what I think it will be, because I think a lot of people know what coaster it is. I'm not going to lie. Which I'll get to that. It's just more the specifics of it is the real question, but I'll get to that in a little bit, probably after 7. But Alabama Adventure, yeah, they're totally out of the Gerstlauer sweepstakes, no doubt about that. Gerstlauer going to Uncle Bernie's. I'll just say, if it's where I think it's going to, it's not that far, but it's probably not where you're expecting. I'll just say that. Yeah. No, yeah, you guys, like I said, for this stream, for the predictions, I'll give you a chance to come on through Streamyard. I'll pin the link when we get there. That's kind of the, we'll see how that goes, but just Q&A for right now, and then at 7 p.m. I'll really go into this stuff. So yeah, RMC Triceratop announcement. I do think we might be getting something from RMC, but I'll go into that in a little bit. What about the Brontosaurus track? If you didn't watch the documentary, it was mentioned as a joke. It doesn't really exist, but it was a pretty funny joke. Is he the CEO of RMC? The guy who was in that segment mentioned it as a teaser and a joke, but a lot of people actually thought it was legit, so that was pretty funny. Do I think this could be a dueling Gerstlauer? No. I really don't see that happening. I know it had the racing tease. I don't see that happening. Maybe that'd be really cool, but I don't see that happening. So yeah, but ask more questions, and then like I said, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, that's when the fun really begins, I suppose. Do you think anyone has bought the RMC Family Hybrid yet? It was announced super recently. Helicopter just flew over me, so that's noise there. Yeah, it'll be through Streamyard. I'll pin the link like when we actually get closer, so I don't have to worry about people being in the backstage already. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I've never done this before, but that'll be when we get there. So I'll make sure to pin that in the chat. But I doubt it just because it was announced pretty recently. But you never know. Maybe someone has. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of potential customers, talking to RMC about it next week at IAAPA. I just don't think it's truly happened yet. Karnan clone, please. Yeah, we wish. I don't know about that. We're going to see that. But yeah. Well, I guess. Yeah, so that's kind of what we'll see what happens though. Do I think I assume this is for the Gerstlauer, could go to Wonderland in Texas? I'll give my official prediction, which is kind of based off what I've seen on forums, but no, I think I don't really see it going to Wonderland at this point. So I can't see that, but we'll see what happens, for sure. Let's see. I have my own wacky prediction when you call in for the Gerstlauer. I mean, your own wacky one. Would that not be the one that we'll see. I'm curious. I don't know how many people are gonna call in. It's something totally new. I've never done this before, but and also the call in, I should say, you don't actually have to be on camera, if that makes sense. But yeah, when we get there, I'm very interested to do that because it might be something I use for something I'm planning to do for my 2,000 subscribers special, as I said earlier. So there you go. Did you know Mondial produced a coaster at one point in the 60s? Did they actually? I would not know about that. But speaking of Mondial, I'm expecting they'll probably have some new concept they show off at the event. I don't know what specifically it would be, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, let's see. Do you think that new Mack launch coaster, Hurricane roller coaster, in China could be cloned in the United States? I mean, the coaster, I guess theoretically, I guess it could be cloned because it's not like on some crazy terrain as far as I'm aware. But I don't know. I'm not sure if that's something they would clone. Probably depends on how well it does in the first place. The ride looks sick, and I'll talk about it in the news because it did just test, and it does look absolutely sick. But I don't know if it'll be cloned. That's probably way too hard to say. But yeah. Could the Gerstlauer be one of the new inverts? They already confirmed it was going to be an infinity coaster, so no, it's not going to be an invert. But speaking of which, we do also have news on the invert. I'll get to that when we get there. But yeah, the Heartline roll on Hurricane is, I probably totally butchered that, is crazy. Is that the one? I get my Eurofighters mixed up. I believe that's the one at Belantis. Is that it? I think. I hope so. I hope that I got that right. I haven't looked at that one in a while. But yeah, you hope El Toro reopens in 2022. Yeah, I think we all are hoping so. I mean, obviously they need to get it like ready and able to not Hurricane roller coaster, that's what they meant. I was gonna say, okay, so that makes sense. All right. Because I'm like, we were talking about Gerstlauer, so I'm like, oh, maybe they were talking about the Eurofighter. But as for El Toro, yeah, for sure, I think we want to see it open in 2022. That would be good if they could get it up and ready. So that would obviously be like the best thing possible. So certainly hoping for that for sure. But no, Hurricane Roller Coaster looks sick. It actually looks really nice. Maybe a little, for a little while it was a little overhyped because it was like, it used to be a coaster that like no one knew about. Then like I think someone posted a video about it and everyone's like, oh, this thing's going to be like one of the absolute best coasters in China. And then the hype died down once like the progress like kind of stopped for a little bit. And then now with the testing video, it's kind of been all over the place, but it looks pretty nuts for sure. Looks super unique for Mack Rides. To be honest, what do I think is the future of sky coasters in general? Not a ride I know a ton about. I mean, not too many have been built recently, right? I know they're trying to like make changes to it, probably to make it a little more appealing, but like, I mean, I don't see very many new ones being made. And as for the existing ones, you know, the parks that want to keep them, they'll keep them, and there's some other ones that'll get rid of them. I don't really think it's too bright. I'll just say the future for the sky coasters. Yeah. Alrighty, so like another 2 minutes for questions, and then I'll go into the IAAPA predictions portion of the stream, go into the news, and then go into what we know about what is actually happening at IAAPA, and then I'll give you the viewers an opportunity to call in, and then after that I'll give my own predictions afterwards. So there you go. Yeah, actually now it did just turn 7, but let's see. Last few questions. Do you think 2023 could be better for coasters than 2022? 2022 is looking really good right now, so at least as of right now, I wouldn't say that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And what do I think is the better wooden Wildcat of the three? So what Wildcats? Hershey Park, Lake Compounce, and what's the other one? Frontier City, right? Those are the three, I think. I hope I have those right. Wow, I have not heard good things about any of them, and I've ridden Wildcat at Hershey Park, but I would honestly probably have to go with Wildcat at Hershey Park because I had one bad ride on it in the back row. If I rode it more closer to the front, which is my favorite seat for GCI coasters, probably would have been so much better. So I would say Wildcat at Hershey Park if you're asking out of those three. That's my thoughts. But with that being said, and now we got a lot more people in here, I'm gonna now go into what we're actually gonna be doing in the stream. I'm gonna go into the news, which some of it relates to IAAPA, so that's what we're gonna start off with. Then I'm gonna go into what we know is actually coming to IAAPA, and then I'm gonna give you the viewers a chance to call in if you want to. First time I've ever done that. I'll pin the link when we get there, and I'll give my own IAAPA predictions, and we'll do some stuff afterwards. So yeah, so if you have any Q&A questions, I'll answer them later. Keep them in mind, and I'll answer them later. But with that being said, I'm actually going to jump into the news for this week. No pictures or slideshow for this week. I was pretty busy, so I couldn't make it, but hopefully that's all right. So for the news this week, first thing today, the Space Factory area at Yomiuri Land in Japan has opened. They opened with a new Gerstlauer inverted coaster, their first ever, called Lipoviten Rocket Luna. I probably totally butchered that, but that's what it's called. And they also got a family drop tower as well. So that is a new area and 2 new rides for Yomiuri Land in Japan that just opened today. So we have that. Phoenix at Farup Summerland is opening on April 7th, 2022. We have the opening date now is basically the big news there. And then we also have several ride closures that have happened since my last stream. Pandemonium at Drayton Manor, which was a flat ride, thrilling flat ride, that has been removed. Goliath at Six Flags New England looks like it is getting removed. There's been cranes and stuff going on. I mean, we've kind of known this for a little while, but now with stuff actually going on, looks like it's going to be gone for good. Wicked Twister is going to be demolished straight up. Cedar Point, Tony Clark confirmed this in a article. And in the antique cars at Cedar Point, not to be confused with the Cadillac cars, those will still exist, but the antique cars are being removed for a new restaurant coming to Cedar Point next year, or in the future. That was also confirmed today. So those are your ride closures since the last stream that I found significant. This story is not really super significant, but it's just kind of weird. Shell's Shuttle, which is a custom Vekoma Junior coaster in its park Haiyu Dreamland in China, has reopened after being standing but not operating for 8 years straight. It had not opened since 2013, and it reopened in September of this year. Absolutely wild. You would have thought after sitting for 8 years it would just never reopen, but here we are. And also for the news, I'll mention this here now. I have all the links in the description to at least most of these if you want to look into the articles and stuff yourself. So if you want to learn more about some of these things, look in the description. Next, we have Luna Park Sydney. A few new things. They have opened 8 new rides. Their big ones here are Boomerang, which is their Gerstlauer shuttle family coaster, clone of Rewind Racers. They also opened Sledgehammer, which is I believe it's a Zamperla like mini Discovery. There's a few of these that we have in the US. I forget what it's called, but it's an inverting flat ride. There's one at Kentucky Kingdom. I don't know why I forget what it's called, but a few of these exist. They got one of those, and then they also got 6 additional family flat rides as well. So that's that. And also Big Dipper at Luna Park was seen testing very recently. As far as I understand, no full circuit tests. They were just testing the launch, but that is good news. That is the Intamin single rail coaster that is going to Australia. So that's good news there for sure. And then we have actually a lot of other coasters that began testing this week. The Golden Horse LSM launch spinning coaster at Joypolis Guangzhou, probably butchered that, is testing as well. A YouTube video by, I believe it was Roller Coaster Dream, was released showing a POV as well. So we had that. Bombay Express at Bollywood Parks Dubai was seen testing. That is the large-scale GCI wooden coaster coming to Bollywood Parks Dubai, which only has like 7 rows. But this is also the coaster that is being advertised as having the most airtime in the world. I say advertised because they're probably stretching it a little bit, but that coaster was seen testing. And also for Bollywood Parks Dubai, I don't know if this is really all that new information, but I wasn't aware of it, so I'll just share it anyways. Trek was spotted at Bollywood Parks Dubai for what looks like a Mack Hyper Coaster and a Mack Power Splash. I think I reported on the Mack Power Splash. The Mack Hyper Coaster was news to me. So that was spotted either once again recently or for the first time. I just know it was spotted recently, and they made an RCDB page for it. So there you go. And for some South Korean coasters, Giant Digger, which is a Mack Rides Blue Fire clone, and Giant Splash, which is a Mack Rides Power Splash. We're also seeing testing. This is a new park opening in South Korea next year, so good to see that. And then Hurricane Roller Coaster, which is the one we mentioned earlier, it has begun testing as well at Suzhou Amusement Land in China. This is the crazy looking Mack Rides launch coaster. It looks really good. And so that has also begun testing. And then we also have a new prototype Vekoma coaster that has gone vertical at a Vekoma factory. This is heavily rumored to be a tilt coaster. So So that's something exciting as well. And then for kind of the announcements we've gotten some pretty crazy ones. Skyline Park in Germany is receiving a 229-foot tall, 3,837-foot long Gerstlauer coaster in 2024. Those stats are not very far off from Karnen, if you were wondering. And this park is also located about 40 miles from some of Gerstlauer's facilities, so that's obviously pretty exciting. This is not the mystery Gerstlauer, but it's still pretty cool to hear about this. And Gerstlauer certainly seems to be on the rise. Just looking at all these projects they're getting with Defiance, and obviously this mystery coaster, and now we have Skyline Park. So pretty crazy stuff. Skyline Attractions has unveiled their improved powered coaster models. They're probably going to be talking about them more at IAAPA, so stay tuned for that if you are interested. And if you want to learn more, I have a link to their actual announcement. Bell's Amusement Park in Tulsa, Oklahoma, is going to make a comeback, or at least they're going to try to make it. The owners are trying to make a comeback, putting it in a new location, and in some way they plan to bring back their wooden coaster Zingo. Pretty surprising bit of news. If you want to look into that more, I have the article for that as well in the description, but that is certainly one that we'll see how it goes and if this really happens, but that would be exciting because Oklahoma doesn't have a ton of parks, so another one would certainly be good, especially one like kind of being resurrected. Dollywood, you've probably all heard about this by now, but their 2023 coaster project had some leaked blueprints, appeared to show a multi-launch coaster. A lot of speculation on if it's a family coaster, a Mack spinner, a motorbike. We don't really know at this point, but it looks like they're getting a pretty large-scale multi-launch coaster, which will be put in the in Wildwood Grove. So we have that, which is pretty exciting. Blackpool Pleasure Beach is teasing their 2022 edition Enzo Icon with a Twist, which a lot of us believe this probably is going to be Icon with spinning a spinning back car is I believe the big rumor here. So if they get that, that would be extremely exciting. But regardless, whatever it is, this probably has to do with Icon, but it probably is spinning cars, which is really cool. And then for some of our last few things, Alabama Adventure is revealing their 2022 project on Thanksgiving Day, probably completely taking them out of the Gerstlauer sweepstakes. And I'll go into what I think this coaster is in a little bit, but when I get to my actual predictions. This coaster looks super, well, whatever this is, I mean, we're pretty sure it's a coaster, but this should be an exciting announcement is what I was going to say. Next, we have some concept art for a Vekoma Super Boomerang has been released. If you haven't looked at the concept art, I have a link in the description. But yeah, it looks really cool. It's going to have a multi-pass launch system. So that's going to be like fantastic. It looks super weird. Hopefully we get more information on it at IAAPA. I imagine we will, because we don't have like a full picture of the layout. We only have part of the layout. So, but it looks really cool. And Zamperla has revealed a new family launch coaster model that they will be talking more about at IAAPA. This is not their kiddie launch coaster. This is an actual like family launch coaster they have sort of revealed. And then our last few things, we have some rumors coming out of Screamscape. The first one being California's Great America. Supposedly, they're in the early stages of planning their next coaster, which is rumored to be a Mack multi-launch. It's a rumor. Who knows if this will really happen? I think it would be a great addition for the park if it were to happen. They do really need a launch coaster, and a mock multi-launch would probably be on the longer side. So, which Great America desperately needs, having been there. So, would be a great addition if it happens. Given the timing of the rumor, a little sketchy that it comes out right after Wicked Twister. It's announced that it's being scrapped. I mean, I just found it kind of weird, but who knows? We'll see if this actually happens. Probably not for a while if it does. And the other rumor, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard of by now, according to Screamscape as well, like I said, total rumor, plans have been approved for a 2023 Giga Coaster coming to Knott's Berry Farm. At first, when seeing this, I actually legitimately thought it was a possibility, but now after hearing some of the reasons why it probably couldn't happen, I'm pretty skeptical of this really coming true. If it does, that would be incredible, but I'm not holding my breath. The noise complaints, which I know Knott's has gotten, would probably be a pretty big problem with getting this to actually go through. So, I mean, theoretically, if it does get built, if it is opening in 2023, we should see work get done pretty soon here. Like beginning the middle of next year is what they said on Screamscape, if this would happen. So if anyone's by there, keep an eye on that. But we'll see if this really happens. And then the final thing I have, CoasterBot, his Vote Coasters poll has opened. If you haven't voted, make sure to do that. It is the world's largest annual coaster poll, and it's a lot better than the Golden Ticket Awards coaster rankings. So I have that in the description as well. If you haven't done that, make sure to do that whenever you can. It's a pretty nice ranking sort of thing. So that is all the news. I went through that really quick. But I guess, let's see. I'll just look through the chat, see if there's any thoughts on any of these things. Do I think the Dollywood coaster name and type could be revealed at IAAPA? No way. There's no way they're going to reveal that. If it does, I mean, good on you for calling that, but I just have a hard time seeing that. Yeah, and then let's see what else. There is no coaster at Skyline like this one. Everything else feels like a bit like it's in a carnival. I've heard it's a super weird park, so yeah, it'll definitely stand out when it gets built in a few years. Yeah. Alrighty, so next we're gonna go into I'm gonna go into the announcements that we know are coming, or things that we know are coming for this IAAPA. And actually, right now, I'll actually also get the Streamyard link set up, which I didn't put the actual link in here. So hold up, I need to get that in. So let's see, should be good. But basically, so for anyone who wants to, and I'm gonna pin this, in a little bit, I'm gonna be doing some call-ins, allowing you, the viewers, to do call-ins to give your just thoughts on the news or any IAAPA predictions or anything like that, and that's going to be how that goes. It's nothing like I've ever done before, so I'm very interested to see how it goes, but yeah, that's going to be what happens there. But first, I'm going to go into what we know is coming to IAAPA, or from IAAPA. So some of the things that we know are coming: we are going to get the 2022 Gerstlauer Infinity announcement. Fun Spot RMC is going to get its full announcement. It was a typo of the date. It was said to be coming today if you got a newsletter, but that did not happen. I believe they meant Tuesday the 16th because it said Tuesday the 12th. It's Friday, so expect the Fun Spot RMC to be announced at IAAPA. Zamperla is going to announce a new coaster model. Triotech is going to announce a new attraction of some sort, or a new model of some sort. Extreme Engineering is going to announce 4 new or updated ride models, probably more on the updated side. And SBF Visa is revealing their new mixed coaster, which they kind of already revealed, but I guess they're going to talk a little bit more about it. And then we also have Skyline. They're going to talk more about their updated ride models. Sally Dark Rides is going to have 2 announcements, and S&S will have their Axis vehicle on display. So if you're going there, and also Skyline will have Piscetti Bull track there too. Didn't even put that in, but that was like came in I think a few hours ago. So those are some things to expect that are coming to IAAPA. But with that being said, I'm gonna allow any viewer who wants to. I don't know how many people we're gonna get. I have pinned the Streamyard link. If you want to give your predictions on here with me live, you don't have to actually be on camera. You can just come in through audio. You can do that. And basically, before I go into that, just some rules I want to lay down before I start with this. Try to keep this, I guess, PG. Don't cuss too much, I guess, basically is one thing. And then the other thing is actually when I bring you on, if you could introduce yourself, that would be great, just so we can have sort of an audio test to make sure that everyone can hear before we actually go into your predictions and thoughts on the news. And I'll basically just ask if what your thoughts, if you had any thoughts on the news, and if you have any IAAPA predictions, what are they? So that's going to be how that works. And that's going to be pretty much that. So, yeah. And so with that being said, I'm going to bring up, what's up, nerds? You're in the backstage. I'm going to bring you up in a few seconds. So I'll give you a little bit of, extra time. And I'll bring you in about, let's see. Shoot, I can't do a countdown because it's a little delayed. But I'll bring you in 15 seconds. I'll just put it in the chat. But yeah. Next time, if I ever do this again, I'll definitely have this more planned out. Just so I get this. Alright. So, alrighty. With that being said, I will be bringing in my first viewer. What's up, nerds? How are you doing?
Hello. It is I, the What's Up Nerds from Coaster Forums. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. And just to make sure in the chat, is the audio good? Sounds good on my end from you, so that's good. But basically, what predictions do you have for IAAPA? I guess is the first thing I'll ask, if you have any.
Well, you have seen my somewhat serious post about IAAPA. Press F for the souls who die on the SBF Visa. The over 5,000 that will sadly perish. But otherwise, the Gerst 2022, I said I had a wacky prediction when it comes to where it's going to go. I really think people are underestimating Lake Winnie and Chattanooga. That's a historic park. They took out Wild Lightning for no reason over the summer, and they have the space to fit in Infinity. I think there's a chance. Now, the 2022 date is still interesting, but again, Chattanooga is a Christmas town, so that could be something.
Lake Winnie, I mean, I think I saw it from you. I've heard it from no one else. So that is a super interesting prediction, but that would be incredible if you got that. But I guess also Alabama Adventure. Where do you think, what do you think's coming there?
I guess just talking about the Coaster Force forums, did you see my comparison post of Dorney Park's what was going to be the planned shuttle coaster and comparing the Alabama Adventures plot?
Yes.
Okay, so I am on that train of it's the planned Dorney coaster. I think the plans have been moved to Alabama Adventure. I think that spiral animation is huge, and I think a lot of people are missing it just because they're going off the past. Because again, plans change. I mean, how many times do we have to say that? We've seen this in the industry. Absolutely. So I 100% think it's the Dorney shuttle coaster that's going to Alabama Adventure. I think there's no doubt at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty convinced it's a shuttle coaster. I'll just say that. And it would make a lot of sense if they did pick up Dorney's, since it doesn't really look like they're going to do anything with the plot of land they were hoping to use at Dorney Park. And then, yeah, the little animation, if you don't know what he's talking about, in the teaser that Alabama Adventure posted, there was a little kind of almost
like a corkscrew.
inversion. Yeah, a corkscrew animation. So, yeah, so I think you're definitely onto something there, for sure.
Yeah, and again, I'll say this: this is also the park that literally during the summer of 2020, like teased out a coaster. It basically looked like Raptor, and then we got Rocket Racers. So
Yeah.
I'm prepared for disappointment. And I literally after that I made a whole giant post basically disavowing the park, and then now I'm back like a wife who has been treated terribly coming back to this
Dang.
place.
That's-
But otherwise, other IAAPA predictions. Sorry to cut you off, but
No, you're good.
all right, I got a couple. Some that are jokey. I'm going to continue the jokes. Otherwise, I'm still convinced we're going to get an Access announcement. They have been teasing that thing forever. I mean, has it basically been about a year since the prototype video?
I think
it
it's been
has
two, because they announced it in 2019 before the pandemic. So,
oh yeah, so
yes,
it was right around then. Yeah, 2 years. Yeah. So I don't think it's a Europe park. I don't get why the random Europe prediction. I think it might be the first in Europe, but again, with European parks, it's always a year or two behind. So it'll be 2024 at the earliest. Still think it's going to an American park. I think it'll be announced then. I don't get Europe first. Otherwise, I still think GCI is going to make some announcements. They always do some stuff at IAAPA.
Yeah.
I still think we're getting a Spaghetti Bowl coaster. I think we're going to see one in action. I saw the tease that they put out, Skyline did, but I'm not sure if that's like a display piece, because you would think that's they would have the track completely done by now, but maybe they're doing it the last second. They just took the picture. And again, that they are making a portable model of it for parks, so who knows?
Oh, really? I didn't even know about that. Shoot.
Yeah, like the spaghetti coaster is like this weird like Frankenstein that they're putting out. It's like they're saying they're going to do portable, permanent, and everything. It's going to be weird, but otherwise, I think GG. I think they're going to tease the Alabama Adventure Coaster because it's going to be literally the world's first inverted wooden shuttle coaster.
Yeah.
There's no way you can't at least tease that at the booth. We'll probably see another Timberliner that's going to be for a park. I am convinced that this is finally going to be the time B&M puts out the surf model.
Ooh,
they have to. It's been out. It's been there for so long. I mean, if the 2023 for SWO was correct, but just SeaWorld Orlando, and if it's a Blitz model and all this is coming out, I still think it might be some kind of stand-up because that was their lineage and the first thing they did, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. B&M, I don't remember them like making a big announcement in an IAAPA, which is my only holdup. But with all that's happened, maybe it would make sense because they probably would have intended to have announced the surf coaster by now had things not like happened with COVID and all that. So you might be onto something there for sure.
Oh yeah, I think I can't say this is going to be like the announcement heavy APA that we are used to, or if it's going to be like a short, like I guess you could say mild version of just networking. I think we're going to be kind of stuck in like the middle, but I think we're going to get some really good announcements no matter what.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna get some. We already know we're gonna get some announcements. Like we're getting the Gerstlauer, which that's already gonna be nuts, and then like finally getting the whole like fun spot. I mean, we kind of know what the layout is, but getting it fully is gonna be great, and I think we're gonna get some other ones in there for sure. So we'll see what happens, but I'm excited for sure.
One more thing.
Yeah, all right.
The Zamperla, they're double hard. I think they're going to announce one. That like they've been kind of teasing that randomly again on their channel. So, I don't know if it'll be I mean, could it be possibly Coney Island? That's a chance. Could it be OWA? I think. I mean, if you want to beat Six Flags and Alabama Adventure to the punch of getting the first launch coaster in the South, that would be big. Because I'll be perfectly honest, I live in the state of Alabama. I'm about 5 hours from Mobile. I have had no reason to go visit OWA. I've ridden Rolling, well, I should say Thunderbolt, but not Rolling Thunder. But So I'm like, I don't really see like the chance of going. So if they got a double heart, I would definitely be more interested.
Yeah, that would be cool. For sure. They definitely could use something, and a double heart. Yeah, like a park getting one would. Now that you bring that up, I could certainly see that happen. Like they announced where it goes, and I haven't seen the recent teasing of it, but I'll have to look back on that.
It's been
Um,
like just some random posts, like basically like kind of rehype, like getting back
oh, okay.
people's, yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, that's great. And I guess I guess I'll like kind of end this here, but it was awesome having you on. You had some like really good. I like this is why I'm doing this because I think like hearing other people's predictions is gonna be like really cool, and this is not like anything I've done, but awesome predictions. I like how you explained it them as well. So yeah, thank you for coming on.
It's no problem, man. If you need any more Alabama Adventure news or the sneak peeks, I'll be sure to let you know.
Oh, thank you.
All right, no problem, man.
But yeah, awesome. Already. See ya. Alrighty. So, thank you very much to What's Up Nerds. That was really awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed his predictions and some of the reason behind them. The Lake Winnie thing that would be incredible if they were to get the Gerstlauer. But yeah, there you go. With that being said, I'm gonna move on to my next viewer. Hope you're ready. Actually, I'll put it in chat just so I don't like catch anyone off guard. But Chaos, you're gonna be next. I just put that in the chat, or I'll just ask if you're ready. Yeah. Like I said, if I do this again, I'll be a little more prepared because. But no, this has been going well so far. So, all right, you're ready. Good. All right, I'm gonna bring you on. What's up, Chaos? How
Hello,
you doing?
can you hear me?
Yes. Chat, let me know if the audio is good on your end as well. But nice to have you on here.
All right, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So let's see. Chat, if anyone could just confirm the audio, and then we'll go right into potential predictions and thoughts on any of the news, like sort of articles. All right, it's good. All right. So, what predictions do you have for IAAPA potentially?
So, for IAAPA, I'll be 100% honest. I've been trying to keep up with a lot of the news from different manufacturers and stuff. But something at least I'd like to see out of IAAPA is I'd love to see a park buy one of those small compact Blitz coasters by Intamin that they announced a while
Oh,
back.
yeah, I know you're talking about one of those ones that
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'd love to see a park get one of those, like a smaller park, because I think they look actually really nice, and it looks like they could be quite affordable attractions for parks that need them.
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I'd like to see the most. I'd be surprised if there isn't an announcement of some kind about like the access coaster. You know, that's kind of
Yeah,
something that's been out, and I'd be very surprised if no one's bought it yet. Because if I'm being honest, that's like the definition of a Six Flags attraction.
for
First it's
sure.
fine, cheap.
For
Like,
sure. Yeah, definitely. And then we also have the vehicle going there, so I mean
yeah.
that should be hinting towards something for sure.
Oh,
So
without a
yeah.
doubt.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So those are my predictions for IAAPA that I have so far, at least.
Already nice. Do you have any thoughts on any of the news I mentioned earlier, uh, or not? I guess.
Not particularly though. I'm not sure. I did figure out something that was kind of weird because my home park is Six Flags Great America. Last time I went, they removed the sign for the log flume Yankee Clipper,
Interesting.
and throughout the entire season, the River Rapids ride has been closed, and the sign is also removed there, and everything's drained. So I don't know what to think of it completely, but it sounds like something might be happening there as well.
What park was this again?
Six Flags Great America.
Yeah, interesting. I don't
I
know
don't
that
know why
anything.
else they'd remove a ride sign unless they were planning on doing something to it.
Yeah, for sure. So that would be interesting. Don't know, although I mean you're over there, so I don't. Six Flags has been kind of weird with their announcements this year because like Wonder Woman they announced that like 2 months after they announced the uh, cliffhanger, I suppose. But
Yeah.
yeah, certainly maybe he's something to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah, like I said, hopefully, my hope is they add if they do add something new, that they add a high capacity attraction because Great America needs it. For
Yeah,
being
for
honest,
sure.
Max Force is not a ride like the newest
Yeah.
Max Force. Awful capacity. Great America really needs another high capacity ride other than like Raging Bull.
Yeah,
That's
you
about
guys
it.
haven't gotten like a high capacity ride in I don't even know how long. Like your last two coasters are Joker and
Max Force, Mardi
Max
Gras.
Force. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then yeah, that thing.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I'm not a big fan of the dive coasters with Vesta strains, I think like something similar to what they're doing with Cliffhanger. I
Could
feel like
make
that would
sense,
fit
yeah.
perfect. Yeah, that would fit perfectly for Great America, a high capacity attraction that I think would bring in more people. But it's enough that hopefully it's not absurd like 3 hour plus lines like Max Force is.
Yeah, you would hope so with that. But I guess to wrap it up, thank you so much for coming on. It was awesome to hear some thoughts from you. If you have any final things you want to say, you can say it. And if not, we'll move on. But like I said, awesome to get your thoughts on some of these things.
All right, yeah. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you. Alrighty, so there was chaos. Obviously, with Six Flags Great America, there's some work they're doing over there, so something to keep an eye on for sure. And certainly, as you heard, they could certainly use a high capacity, like newer attraction because that's really something they haven't gotten now, like thinking about it now that Chaos brought it up. So, good there. So next, I'm going to bring on Imperial Coasters. So I'm going to put this in the chat if you're ready. But yeah, let me know in the chat if you're enjoying this, the viewer thing, because like I said, I'm like kind of experimenting with this to see if this is something I could use for something I'm planning to do in the future for a subscriber special. Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna bring in Imperial Coasters. Imperial Coasters, how are you doing today?
Very good. Very good. Thank you for having me
Alrighty.
on stream.
Yeah, I can hear you. Chat, let's just make sure the audio is good, and then we'll move on to your IAAPA predictions. Just making sure.
Alright, is it good?
It's good on my end. I'm just making sure from the chat. The only problem is the chat is like on a probably 10 to 15 second delay. Alright, it's good. So, yeah. So, what are your IAAPA predictions?
First off, the Gerstlauer location.
Yeah.
I have 2 parks I want to predict. First off, Idlewild.
Interesting. Definitely not one I've heard before.
Well,
Why do you
they've
think
been rolling
Idlewild?
a lot of rides as of late, and they just need something new, you know?
For sure. Yeah, they've been getting decimated
Yeah, they do have the
recently.
land for it. Well, they've removed a lot of their rides, so they do have land.
Interesting. And then what's the other park?
Wonderland, Armadillo, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Um,
they're definitely a weird park, but they're a good one too. Because, I mean, they've got a steady attendance, and they could use a new coaster. I mean, they just got the SPF visa, but I don't think that's just enough.
yeah. Although, has that opened yet? I thought that was opening next year.
To be honest, I'm not actually sure.
Yeah, that's the only that, and then also I don't believe they are currently open year round, which would maybe hurt them. But I mean, that's another one where I mean it's Texas, so maybe they could extend their season. So,
I do
but
have
certainly
a
it's
third
interesting.
prediction. It's
Oh,
probably
okay.
very unlikely, but I think it's Frontier City.
Frontier City. Oof. because it's Six Flags, that'd be pretty hard to imagine.
Well, the thing is, my home park is Ranger City, but something is really strange going on in that area.
And what, like how so?
First off, Gunslinger. It's never open.
What isn't open?
Gunslinger, the Zamperla.
Just ride by them, I suppose.
Yeah, it's really unreliable. It was closed for 3 years straight. It did reopen this year temporarily, but it was just shut down again.
So you would have to think that removing it would definitely have to be like kind of in the future.
Yeah. Also, the log flume. It's been reliable for most of the season for 2021, but recently there's just something strange going on with it. They had to get a new motor for it.
Ooh, interesting. And log flumes, those seem to be going away like at a lot of parks, so certainly something that could be on the chopping block.
Plus, it takes up a massive plow land.
Interesting.
And they got stuck in a lift hill this season.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how bad that it was when it did that, but certainly that's not great.
I was there, but it was actually pretty bad. It was down for like 5 hours.
Dang. That must have been complicated then.
Plus, with the combination of Geronimo and Nightmare Mine being removed, I could say it was a pretty sizable plot.
Nice.
Again, that's very low chance though.
Any other potential IAAPA predictions or thoughts on any of the news things that I touched on earlier?
Well, SNS. I think they could unveil the 2023 Axis Coaster location.
Yeah, certainly.
I mean, they have to reveal it at some point.
Yeah, that is true. It's certainly, I wouldn't be shocked if it happens, that's for sure, especially now that we know that the vehicle's going there. There's got to be some sort of announcement for it, so totally, that's definitely on the table.
Yeah, and Zamperla. Is that something about the Volare?
So let's see. So basically, they kind of made fun of themselves for with the old Volare model, or Volare. But they seem to kind of be hinting at a new gen version. I don't know if they will actually announce that or if they were really hinting at it, but it seemed to be what they were hinting towards with the stuff they've been doing on social media. So
kind of interesting, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think we could be seeing a new generation of that sort of coaster, so that's certainly on the table.
Also, my final prediction. Zingoa Bells, as you know, it's getting rebuilt, right?
Yeah, resurrected.
Yeah. I think this could actually be a possibility. I mean, look at Zip and Pippin.
Gravity Group, are you thinking?
Yeah.
Alrighty. I mean, yeah, for sure, that would make total sense. I don't know if that would be announced at IAAPA, but if you're predicting that just to happen, I definitely could agree with you there. I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah. Also, the RMC. They're just gonna reveal the trains for the Fun Spot America, Georgia.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I'll go into my predictions, but I think so too. So that's cool. Anything else?
First off, I would like to thank Ron McKenzie.
Who?
Ron McKenzie, the president of Skyline Texas.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, so I
He's
didn't know.
just taking really good care of the park.
Yeah, there certainly seems like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Anyways, that's all.
Thank you for coming on. Great
No
predictions. And with that being said, we're gonna move on. But another great guest. Obviously, some stuff going on with Frontier City. Interesting to hear about that. And obviously, like Zingo, since they're talking about resurrecting it, I could totally see it being a Gravity Group. So that was a good point brought up. So that was awesome. Next viewer I'm going to bring up, second to last, at least on here, if you want to join. you can use the Streamyard link. The next guest I'm going to have is Infinite Coasters. So I'll ask if you are ready. And then we're going to go. Okay, he already said that. Man, I'm getting beat to the punch. Alrighty, so let's bring in Infinite Coasters. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Let's just make sure, chat, is the audio good? Let's just make sure I can hear you on my end, so you're good for me.
The stream delay definitely like fluctuates with things sometimes, so
Yeah, for sure.
I don't see anything.
It'll come in. Sometimes
yeah.
it kind of like spurts, so nah, it'll come in.
Good audio. Okay, yeah. I have a Blue Yeti microphone, so that also helps.
Oh yeah, nice. I got that too. Great.
Pog.
Yeah.
So
any IAAPA predictions? What are you thinking?
I definitely think we're gonna see some sort of Intamin announcement. We always usually see one at IAAPA. I just like usually there's at least some sort of Intamin announcement.
For sure.
What was I thinking else? Oh, the Gerstlauer Infinity. I'm sticking with my original prediction, Fun Spot America. I genuinely think it's going there, but also at the same time, I have some other points to bring up. I feel like people aren't focusing enough on the late 2022 opening, and people also not focusing focusing too much on the high profile location. Cause people are like, oh, it's not in the heart of Florida or Orlando. It's never happening. It's just people are focusing too much and internalizing too much on that when the whole what's the Glenwood Caverns
Defiance.
Oh yeah, Defiance. People were definitely thinking too much about that, and they had their hopes too high and just got disappointed. But is that really a surprise? Not really. I wasn't really that has nothing to do with it's probably just gonna waste time. So also, yeah, the SNS Axis, I was originally being I was thinking that would be a while, but the whole vehicle bringing up, I think we're gonna get some sort of announcement. Same with the Zamperla Double Heart. See, that's what I think Alabama Adventure is gonna get next year. Honestly, the whole spiral thing kind of
interesting
lines up with it, and the corkscrew teaser. I think it's gonna be a Zamperla Double Heart, but that's just my prediction.
I'd have to the tarp that they showed pretty. I mean, yes, people said it, but I definitely think it looked like a Timberliner. So
oh, okay, yeah, I didn't even. Is it on their Instagram? Because I could check.
Yeah, it was on. I think it was on. It was in a few places, but I think Instagram was where I saw it. I mean, maybe. I don't know what the Double Heart train looks like off the top of my head, but I mean. It is interesting for sure. I think that's certainly more likely than a Gerstlauer at this point. So
the Gerstlauer for Infinity is off the table for Alabama Adventure because of the delayed announcement.
Yeah.
So I think the brought up of the Thorny not GCI what's wrong? The Gravity Group could definitely be there, and also the Bell's Amusement Park Zingo. That Gravity Group just seems like that manufacturer that would do it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I just don't know when that thing's gonna be completed, but I mean, yeah, you would have to think Gravity Group's gonna do that.
And for announcements specifically, I can pretty much rule out any Six Flags, Cedar Fair, any big chain parks. They would definitely not do anything like that. Also, no B&M Surf Coaster announcement. I highly doubt it. If they were to announce it, they would have done it a lot sooner probably because if it was a big park, they definitely would have announced it sooner. They wouldn't have IAAPA announce B&M, because I don't know, just doesn't seem likely.
Yeah, I can agree with that for sure. And is there also any thoughts you have on some of the news that we touched on earlier?
Yes, I want to talk about firstly my home park, Six Flags New England, because the whole Goliath situation.
Yeah.
That's pretty much gone. I could also see Flashback going, but I think that might stay. I don't know.
Probably a little while longer.
Yeah, I would say a Max Force clone, but because of how unreliable Max Force was, I highly doubt it. So I think we're gonna either see a Raptor, a Premier Lights launch in definitely unlikely, but a Vekoma, like Shockwave or anything similar to that would be sick. The Knott's Berry Farm Giga, would that be awesome? Absolutely, but I highly doubt that's gonna happen. Honestly, I don't see it. Especially the noise complaints. They already got enough, and it's not gonna. I mean, obviously, they could put sand in the track. But yeah, it's just I don't see it happening. I really don't.
There's only so much sand can do. So
yeah, true. I mean, they did it with Talon at Thorny, but
they did it with Talon. I didn't know that. I know they did it with
Leviathan,
but
it's too big for that to even. I don't think it would work. And then California's Good America, that supposedly getting a mock launch coaster. That seems cool, but I don't know where they would put it. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, I mean, I assume they would get rid of Grizzly or something. Because I mean that ride, it doesn't really serve much of a purpose anymore. Maybe, I mean, I know people would like to see it get RMC'd, but Joker already exists.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Joker.
I think a mock multi-launch might make more sense. So they probably would have to remove something, but
yeah,
I'm sure they can figure out a way.
RMC Grizzly would be cool, but Joker is literally just across the street, so I highly doubt it. And my last point, Dollywood, that launch coaster, it would look like something a lot bigger, but they said it's gonna be a family attraction. So I have two guesses for that: either a Vekoma motorbike or a mock family launch like Manta at SeaWorld.
Interesting.
That's what I see happening. But
yeah, I think I'm like. It's so hard to it's a weird it's just kind of a weird project because yes, they said it would be a family attraction, but how far off can it go from that?
Okay, true.
But I would be so down for a Manta mock multi-launch because I mean I have ridden Manta. I really think it's fun, so but we'll see what happens.
Well, because people especially I can bring up another point. People are so focused on one specific term, it's specifically a family coaster, but specifically a high record-breaking attraction when really that was all just Defiance or the world's steepest free fall drop. Yeah, that's just kind of a scam at that point. So we can't really look too deep into some of these statements.
Yeah. Some people were already pointing that out, and looking at it, I'm like, okay, we'll see what this is. I'm not jumping to any conclusions just yet that it couldn't be something a little more thrilling than people might expect. But I'm certainly more leaning towards the mock multi-launch more in the style of Manta or some sort of motorbike. Definitely seems to be the thing that would kind of make sense there. But,
I know they brought. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, you're good. You're good.
I know they brought up a survey with a B&M Hyper and a Mack Extreme Spinner, and although those are not family coasters, those layouts, the layout does look like a B&M Hyper kind of, but I don't know. I don't remember looking at it, so.
I wouldn't call a Mack Extreme Spinner completely off the table.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I find it a little unlikely. It would be awesome, but I don't know that I could see that happening.
And blueprints can always be deceiving because the steel curtain blueprints, those were so confusing. I thought it was like a transfer track style right at first, and the GCI for Fiesta Texas, that never happened. So we can all just it just comes down to how the cookie crumbles at that point.
Absolutely. But I guess to wrap this up, thank you so much for coming on. Was great to hear from you about the news and your predictions on IAAPA. And if you have any last things to say, you can say it, and then we'll move on.
I really have nothing else to say. That's all I needed to say.
Alrighty. Thank you so much for coming on. Alrighty. So next, I accidentally cut off Infinite Coasters. I feel bad. Sorry about that. But next up, I'm actually going to bring up Dalton Ice. I'll just make sure. Are you ready? All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to bring up Dalton Ice. What's up? How you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm the Quackins Coaster channel on YouTube. I run that channel, so really happy to be on here.
For sure. Let me just make sure in the chat, is the audio good? Came good, through good for me. Maybe a little bit on the quiet side, but
Okay.
let
Let me try to turn it up a little bit for you.
let's see. I'm gonna wait till chat comes in to say something. It takes like 20 seconds or whatever, just because we're on a little bit of a delay. We're good. Alrighty. With that being said, what are your IAAPA predictions?
So obviously we have the Fun Spot RMC announcement, as well as the new Gerstlauer coming in 2022 late in the year. I think a couple of parks that could really be on the table for that are Lake Winnie in Georgia. One park that was mentioned earlier that I honestly don't think is going to happen is Wonderland in Amarillo. They are getting the SBF spinner next year. That's actually been delayed a couple times due to COVID, and I think this year. Yes, it was originally supposed to open in 2020, and then it got pushed back, and then they're waiting on parts for that, so they're getting it pushed back till next year. So I don't think that Wonderland will be getting that, and besides, they're not open year round, and it is in the northern part of Texas. So.
Okay.
Oddly enough, it's about a 5-hour drive from Frontier City and about 6 hours from Dallas, which is really weird.
But yeah, so it'd be closer there. Yeah, but, so weird.
Honestly, I think that Lake Winnie makes the most sense from a perspective of where the new Gerstlauer will be going, and I had heard that you had mentioned Alabama Adventure in the past. I saw that they're going to be adding some sort of new coaster. They're about to announce it on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
I really think that is a park I'd like to get to at some point for sure. I'd like to see what this new coaster would be. Hopefully it'll be a good second fiddle to Rampage.
Yeah, for sure. At least you would think. So yeah, I mean Rampage I've heard amazing things about, but yeah, for sure. Any thoughts on some of the news that I touched on earlier, if you were here for that?
Yeah, so touching on the Dollywood new coaster, I'm actually going to be going there on Sunday, so that'll be really fun.
Awesome.
But I mean, Hershend has labeled whenever they were teasing Time Traveler at Silver Dollar City, which is my home park, they were labeling that as a family-friendly attraction, and look what that turned out to be. So,
yeah.
I mean, a Mack Extreme Spinner is definitely on the table for Dollywood's next coaster. I mean, they added one at Silver Dollar City. Why can't they put one at their sister park? I mean, if you ask me, it makes a lot of sense. They could also go with a traditional multi-launch with just regular sit-down trains and kind of go on the family style like Manta at SeaWorld San Diego, which I also have done. It's a really fun little ride.
Awesome. That's cool.
Yeah. So there's definitely a lot of exciting news. It is kind of disappointing about Wicked Twister getting scrapped. However, some of the parts like the launch system, some of it's going to be sold off to be used for Valley Fair and Dorney Park.
Yeah.
So
that's good. At least they're going to preserve those ones. So not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, that's for sure. And then Goliath, I'm not really surprised it's getting scrapped. It's been a headache. It's a god awful ride with the new trains. It's the only giant inverted boomerang I've done personally, and it was horrible. Definitely one of the worst roller coasters I've ever ridden.
Dang. Yeah, I've heard pretty horrible things about it, so.
I would like to try Aftershock at Silverwood, but God only knows when I'll get up to the Pacific Northwest.
That's a hard park to get to, so.
Maybe when I get back to California, I'll make a complete West Coast trip out of it, but it's about the only thing I can do.
Yeah, I mean, that park, even for me living in California, I'm just like, how the heck am I supposed to get there? I've never been, so it's just it looks so great, but like, man, it's just like, wow, it's so far. But But yeah, anything else you want to say? Any last things?
I think we pretty much got it covered. Once again, thanks for having me on for sure.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for coming on. And of course, sharing your thoughts on the news and IAAPA. So appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.
All right, have a good one.
Alrighty, so before I get Philip on here, I'm actually gonna turn the light on because it got dark out here. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Be right back. Alrighty, let's see how that looks. Alright, the light isn't doing me any favors up here now, but oh well. Alright, I'll send a thing in the chat real quick, and then we should be ready to go. Philip will be the last viewer, assuming no one else comes in. It's been great doing this, by the way. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with how this has went, so very good up to this point. So with that being said, Philip, how you doing?
Hi. Hey, I'm Philip, coming to you from the West Coast.
Nice. We're both on the West Coast, so that's cool. But yeah, so chat, once again, just let me know if the audio is good. Sounds good on my part, so happy to have you on.
Yeah, I just had some quick thoughts on some of these new West Coast rumors that have been flying at us recently.
For sure, yeah.
I just had to say that, yeah, Silverwood is so far. It's actually I live in Seattle now, and it's my closest park.
Wow.
Closest real park, and I still haven't ever been because it's 5 hours away.
Yeah,
just
wild.
5 hours of driving through nothing. So that park is really out there. It's sad life for us Pacific Northwest enthusiasts for sure.
Yeah, that is brutal.
I used to live in California. It's where I was born and raised. So I've definitely got some thoughts about these latest rumors here. First off, this Knott's Giga, I'll believe it when I see it. This is wild. If you've ever been to Knott's, there are houses right there. There are people who basically have accelerator in their backyard, which is wild. The B&Ms these gigas are so loud, and California has lots of NIMBYs. Knott's is really tiny. I think maybe if it goes more towards the parking lot and more towards that big street kind of over by where the water park is, that seems more likely. But I don't know. I really hope that this will happen. This is what Knott's needs in terms of their coaster collection. But I'll believe it when I see it.
For sure. I mean, we'll know more within the next few months, even if this is legitimately going to happen or not. But I am definitely on the fence about this really happening.
Yeah, this is when it would be like when Groenland fit in Monster. It's that level of craziness. So the rumor I am less excited about here is this new Great America rumor. I went to Carowinds recently this year, and I was surprised how similar it felt to Great America. Very similar layout. It's just sort of Great America feels like a mini Carowinds to me.
Interesting.
Maybe Carowinds before it got its big top four. I don't. So I've seen how Copperhead Strike fits into Carowinds lineup, and I really don't think it's the right match for Great America.
Interesting.
This Copperhead Strike is kind of hidden in the back of the park. It is a vertically challenged roller coaster. You don't really see it till you get pretty close. It's a Mack launch coaster, so it's not going to have those strong forces. Those strong launch forces. It's going to have more of the forces in the loops and the airtime. I actually laughed out loud on Copperhead Strike when the launch started, because it just felt like I've accelerated in a car faster than that. It was really that's it. So I don't really think it's the launch coaster that Great America needs necessarily. And Great America already has a great, inverting forceful airtime coaster in Railblazer.
For sure.
And it has another small forceful coaster in Flight Deck, which was closed when I went, but I assume it's pretty much what you expect out of a B&M invert. Really want to get back and ride that. But yeah, it's not really filling the void of what Great America is lacking. That's my view on it.
Yeah, now that you mentioned that, I mean, if California's Great America, like, they're missing the launch coaster, and they were to get a launch coaster that really doesn't have very forceful launches, that would be pretty disappointing. And my only, I mean, I haven't done Copperhead Strike. It's just, I feel like that Great America would greatly benefit from something that's a little on the longer side. Would you say Copperhead Strike, when you're actually riding it, feels like a pretty long ride?
Oh yeah, it's very long. That's definitely one of its strengths. It's long, it's forceful. That's where it shines. But I just feel like it's just like Big Manta. We already have Manta here in California.
True,
like these rides are cool. But yeah, we've already got some stuff like that. I think I want to see some more variety in California. Did you know that Accelerator is actually back in 2002 is actually the last coaster that's over 200 feet added to California?
Really? Yeah, you're right. Actually, now that you bring that up, that is crazy to think about.
Yeah, the tallest coaster added since then, I believe, is Full Throttle at about 160 feet. I was looking at this recently. In fact, west of the Mississippi, the tallest, the only 200-footer that's been added was Cannibal. Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I think it's really sad that we don't have any of these B&Ms, any of these Intamins that are really tall. I wouldn't, if that launch coaster were Hurricane roller coaster, I'd be okay with that. But otherwise, I would rather be seeing one of these B&Ms. I know B&M Hypers are a little, they're not the most forceful rides, but they really have a lot of they're great rides, and they're really lacking in California, and they would be a huge, huge hit. I think people would really flock to it because there's just nothing else that's providing those same kind of forces. I always say if you take Orion and dropped it into California, it would be a lot of people's number one because there's just nothing in California that's quite like it. Versus in Ohio, you've got one in Forest right there. Yeah,
that tough crowd in Ohio. So yeah, I mean, and that was sort of what was supposed to happen. Is it was supposed to Great America and it didn't. So
exactly, it's a tragedy. So I wish they'd stick with the original plan, figure out a way to make it work. But I don't know what's going on behind the scenes there. It's just my opinion as an enthusiast, which not worth very much to the park probably, but
yeah,
just here to discuss.
Sure.
So that's all I had.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was great to hear your thoughts on the rumors.
Your news roundup is I think one of the best.
Thank you so much.
Love hearing it.
Thank you so much. That actually does mean a lot because I do put a decent amount of time in getting everything together. But thank you so much for coming on, and see you later.
All right, bye.
Alrighty, so that was the viewer predictions and sort of talk about the news. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. I actually had a lot of fun just hearing about everything. So, wait, Fun Spot just posted? Hold up. Alright, I'm gonna look real quick. I don't know if this guy's trolling, but I mean, technically they were supposed to announce something today, so I'm gonna look at that real quick. Yep, there we go. Breaking news within the stream. They are announcing the Fun Spot RMC on Tuesday, November 16th. Yes, I will put the link here in the chat. There you go. Yep. They are going to announce it and some new concept art as well. Another piece, finally. But there you go. Yes, they are going to announce it at Tuesday, November 16th. So November 12th was a typo. as I kind of actually mentioned in like I think on Reddit and in the forums. So there you go, breaking news within the stream. That's actually, I don't think that's happened before. So where I actually looked into it, so that's awesome. But I mean, I figured now we just have an actual date when it is, so that's cool. But there we go. So with that being said, I guess I'll go into my own IAAPA predictions because I did not. I mentioned that I would do it afterwards just because I don't know. I just wanted to hear like new things, and not necessarily thoughts on what I thought was happening. Although I will say that I do agree with some of the predictions some of you had. So first off, I'm gonna go with the Gerstlauer Infinity. If this is gonna be a weird location, if you don't look at forums, this was a theory someone made, and if it happens, it'll make me and the guy who came up with the theory look like a genius. If not, it's gonna be totally out of left field. But I believe the Gerstlauer Infinity is going to go to an upcoming development in Orlando called O-Town, which is owned by Unicorp, which owns Icon Park. This is going to be a shopping and entertainment sort of development, I suppose. It's supposed to open next year, according to those who are a little closer in on this project. And this would be in a high-profile location. They aren't really going to have like an amusement park, but they wanted a standout attraction, according to an interview back in 2019. And also Unicorp, Icon Park. Icon Park had some of their attractions installed by Ride Entertainment, if I'm correct. So, Theme Park Horizons, you're recording on the hunt. Hello everybody on the hunt. I don't even know what to say. The Gerstlauer Infinity is going to O-Town. That's my Gerstlauer prediction. I don't know what else to say. And also, I guess, welcome to the stream. I really don't know what to say, but that's just like a mind-boggling sort of thing, I suppose. But I guess that's what I have to say. I really don't have anything else. But yeah, check out On the Hunt if you haven't, guys, here on the stream. Yeah, the Gerstlauer Infinity, like I said, O-Town is where I think it's going to. We'll see if it happens. Super probably out there prediction for those of you who've never heard of it. Yeah. And then some other things. I don't think we're gonna get all of these, but I think we're gonna get one of these. So I'm gonna say this. I think we're gonna get a reveal of one of the upcoming Intamin coaster layouts. I don't know if some of the ones I could see are the rumored Parque Warner Madrid Intamin. Of course, it's obviously not official, but maybe we'll get the layout of that. Maybe we'll get the animation, I should say, for the SeaWorld Abu Dhabi. We already know the layout, but we need the animation. And/or the Turbo Turtle Power layout for Nickelodeon Universe. Is it in... I forget where it's in China. I don't remember what city it was in, but I think we'll get something like that, an announcement from Intamin relating to a layout or at least an animation. And then I think we're actually going to get an announcement from Mattel Adventure Park, and they're finally going to announce the Chance Looping Hyper GTX. Like they're going to actually announce it there. And that's going to be the first ever Chance Looping Hyper GTX. So that's something I'm predicting. And then super random, not very specific, but I think an upcoming park project somewhere will be announced or revealed, or will reveal concept art, and it will impress at IAAPA. Kind of like what Inca Park did at IAAPA Expo in Europe. I think we will get something kind of like that, if that makes sense. Because I know that's very non-specific, but yeah. That's there we go for those. And for the companies who are going to reveal new models, I think Zamperla, we're going to see a next generation Volair. They've heavily teased it. Vekoma, I think we'll finally get what the Vekoma double launch thrill glider is. This was something that was shown in like a video on like their LinkedIn or something, like a little image of it, but we don't know anything. I don't know if they'll actually have a real reveal of it, but we'll probably get more information. Also, we'll probably get more information on the Super Boomerang from Manor. They're probably going to show another powered coaster concept. They've been doing that kind of all year, so why not throw out another one? I'm not saying that all of these are going to happen. I'm just throwing some darts, I guess, and hoping something sticks. SNS, I'm actually going to back off of the new coaster concept. I think they're going to focus on the Axis, so just wipe that out of there. Intamin, I think we'll see a new coaster concept from them. I mean, they've already shown a lot, but I think they'll just have something, because why not? And Mondial will probably have some sort of new flat ride or flat rides. And then also, I think we're going to see some the Boston Tea Party and Easy Breezy rides from Skyline Attractions. This is something on their website. It says coming soon. They haven't revealed these yet, as far as I'm aware, so I assume they'll show them off here, along with the Pescetti Bowl. And then for RMC, there was a rumored revolutionary coaster concept that, like, over a year ago on Reddit that supposedly RMC was making, but it was a rumor from Reddit. Well, I think we could see an announcement here from RMC talking about this thing. I don't know what it's going to be. That's a pretty out there thing because, I mean, that would be pretty crazy if RMC would announce something, announce a new model. I don't think this is going to be like a T-Rex or anything like that. But I'm going to assume that that Reddit thing is legit and for that prediction. Like I said, just throwing darts. We'll see what actually happens, what doesn't. But those are my new ride models. And then for train reveals, Hot Wheels coaster car, why not? Because if they're going to reveal the thing for Mattel Adventure Park, why not just bring the car? Yes, it's a year out, but maybe not actually the car, but like just show concept art, whatever. Maybe bring the car. And then maybe we'll see Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger's train. Would be hard to do because it'd be so big, but I'll throw it out there because why not? And I think we're going to be seeing the Fun Spot RMC train. I think that's pretty likely. I'd be actually pretty surprised if we didn't see that. Obviously, we're going to also have the SNS Axis vehicle there. And then Alabama Adventure, Gravity Group wooden shuttle coaster with an inversion. As What's Up Nerd said, there's been a lot of talk on the forums about how this could be the coaster that Dorney Park was getting, and then maybe those plans kind of died, and so Alabama Adventure picked it up. I think that's kind of the theory I'm going off of, and so I think we're going to be seeing them get a Gravity Group wooden shuttle coaster with an inversion, which would be pretty nuts. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. And so those are my predictions. You can give your thoughts down below. If you didn't actually come on, you can also give your own predictions in chat. So, want to open up that opportunity there. Give your thoughts on my predictions as well. And, then we're going to move on to my next thing, which, after this, it's not really going to be IAAPA related. I'll just do some stuff kind of toward the end here. Guess the coaster, end of stream Q&A, and some YouTube shoutouts. So I don't get overwhelmed with the YouTube shoutouts during my next coaster time stream, which will be on November 27th, hopefully. So stay tuned for that. That should be happening. But there we go. Didn't Coaster Studios tease an RMC T-Rex in his documentary? They showed the concept POV, or the concept video, and they said one would be coming eventually. I don't really think we're gonna get anything new from IAAPA because the T-Rex is a pretty ambitious sort of thing. And not a ton of parks were showing interest from my understanding because it's huge, so not a ton of parks could get it. Fun Spot RMC might have a patriotic theme train. If it really is gonna be the rumored Air Force One name, I don't even know if that's. I think it's rumored. Is it speculation? I don't know. But anyways, yeah. So let's see. I'm gonna need to. Let's see. There we go. Had to do something real quick. But anyways, but yeah, maybe RMC. Yeah, I already. Don't worry, he's already banned. He's already banned. So, he's gone. But anyways, sorry about that. But yeah, the RMC, I could see it having a patriotic train sort of design. So yeah. You said earlier how an upcharged spinning car could go down at Dollywood. Oh, so you're thinking maybe like a mock multi-launch with a back spinning car with an upcharge, perhaps? I don't think Dollywood would do that. I don't think they would do something like that where they would actually make an extra row that's an upcharge. I for some reason it doesn't strike me as a very Hershen thing to do. But yeah. Like I said, sorry about that. Crazy users. Don't know exactly what that was all about earlier. But that's a no-no. Isn't the Skyline Attraction coasters basically T-Rexes? The Piscetti Bowl, it's more like a kiddie coaster model. Well, I actually am holding out hope that they actually can be alright. I think a lot of people are kind of writing off Skyline Attractions. They have a lot of experience. They really do need to fix some things up, to say the least. But I'm giving them a chance after some pretty abysmal failures. Next Coaster Time stream, hopefully November 27th. Hopefully. But I might actually be doing an IAAPA Reactions episode after the event ends. Because I don't know that I could cover all that in the news along with whatever other news is gonna be coming. So I might do that. Tell me in the chat if you guys would like to see that. Similar stream to this, but just kind of an after IAAPA episode. So yeah. And then you don't think the RMC T-Rex will ever happen? It's very possible that it won't. I'm sure. I think it will, but it'll take a long time, and it might only be like 1 or 2. But yeah, Gerstlauer sounds like it could be on a boardwalk. Maybe. I really doubt it. I'm pretty convinced it's gonna be going to O-Town, like I mentioned. Yeah, we'll see. If it doesn't go to O-Town, I guess I should have mentioned this. If it doesn't go to O-Town, my second prediction is Fun Spot, Orlando specifically. And if it's not Fun Spot, actually, I guess Fun Spot, either between Fun Spot and Caudaland, in Austin, Texas. Those are like my two kind of spots, and then like Santa Cruz has like a very low chance of getting it. Is kind of like my thoughts if O-Town doesn't get it, but I'm pretty convinced they are. But we'll see. I think California's Great America will get a Max Force clone. No way. Cedar Fair is not gonna get that. With the reliability issues of Max Force, there's no chance. At least I feel like. But yeah, looks like that's kind of the IAAPA predictions stuff. So next, I'm gonna do YouTube shoutouts. Then I'll do Guess the Coaster, which is a game I have. If you haven't done it before, I'll kind of explain how it works. But I'm gonna be doing YouTube shoutouts for channels that recently reached a milestone. Recently, since the last Coasters Time stream I did. And so my first shout out will go to Cedar Flags. He has reached 9,000 subs recently. All these channels, their links are in the description. Cedar Flags, great channel. Obviously, he's I think he released a video today on the Knott's Giga Coaster. He has a lot of varied content, and very consistent with his content. So make sure to check him out if you haven't already. Channel definitely need to watch more of, but one that, based off what I've seen, I'm definitely a fan of. So make sure to check out Cedar Flags if you haven't. National Coasters has reached 8,000 subs, and his channel obviously is more like on obscure coasters. Really cool channel if you haven't looked at it already. Does a lot of videos, like I said, on like pretty obscure and weird coasters. So definitely make sure to check him out if you haven't already, and well deserved 8,000 subs, growing very fast. Theme Park Horizons has reached 5,000 subs. That would have been good to have for the On the Hunt podcast. But Christian, if you are watching this later, congratulations on reaching 5,000 subs. Made the video of the Universal 10-year plan, as I've mentioned previously. And he also did a top 10 list of the Cedar Point rides a few weeks ago as well. So make sure to check him out if you haven't already. Also check out On the Hunt if you don't listen to that podcast. I did an episode with them a little while back. Next channel I have is, I'll just go through it like the actual name. Minecraft No Limits 2 Contriver has reached 8,000 subs. Has been doing a lot of vlogs recently, but also does No Limits 2 creations. A channel that I've only heard of in more recently, but definitely a good channel, so make sure to check him out if you haven't already. Coaster Roaster, former guest, has reached 2,000 subs, well deserved. Make sure to check out his channel. He's got a lot of varied content as well. I've highlighted his series on Chinese coasters, but he also has a lot of other great videos, rankings, things of that sort. So make sure to check out Coaster Roaster if you haven't already. And then the last two channels I have here, Anthony Schwartz, Cleveland Browns wide receiver, who's also a coaster enthusiast, has reached 2,000 subs. He's been doing vlogs more about life in the NFL rather than coasters more recently, but if you want to check him out, make sure to. And he also has some coaster vlogs. Those were some of his first videos, actually. Next, we have Amusement Insider, who is the one who creates the No Limits recreations. He has reached 50,000 subs. He also does POVs and footage. But great channel, and well worth getting to 50,000 subs. It's incredible. So make sure to check out Amusement Insider if you haven't already. Great American Coasters has reached 10,000 subs. Another great channel with varied content. So he's been growing pretty quickly. So congratulations on reaching 10,000 subs. Coast Tunes recently reached 25,000 subs. He's growing like crazy. Another previous guest. But yeah, his channel, very good content and very like different content. Like just the style of his videos is very different for sure. So make sure to check him out if you haven't already. And the last channel I have is North Star Coasters, who recently reached 1,000 subscribers. A channel I haven't watched a lot of, but I know a decent amount of you watching like his content. So he has vlogs and a lot of different, once again, I feel like I've been saying it a lot, but varied content. So congratulations on reaching 1,000 subscribers. And that is that. So those are all the YouTube shoutouts. I have a bit of a, kind of a side stitch from, going to the gym earlier. So I get winded a little quicker than usual. But with that being said, we're going to move on to Guess the Coaster. Which basically how this works is you ask questions in the chat that'll try to get you to find clues about the coaster that I have. Or that I'm thinking of, or, well, in this case, I'm using RCDB for. and you can like, yeah, basically you try to, and then you can try to guess it in chat. So I'm still trying to get the coaster here. And yes, I'm really close to 2,000. Last time I checked, I'm literally like 6 subs away. So, if you could get me there, that'd be great. I wasn't gonna put myself in there, but thank you to everyone in chat. Ooh, all right, we're gonna go for it. All right, I have my coaster. So in the chat, ask away your questions, yes or no questions. That'll try to get you closer to the coaster. This one I will say is a little obscure, but I have mentioned it here on the channel so a few times, so hopefully it shouldn't be too hard. This will probably be the most difficult one. We'll do a few rounds. I don't know how many rounds. Probably to a certain amount of time I'm probably looking at. Because I would like to end this before 6 if possible. My time, 9 EST, so. Yeah, alrighty. Let's see, first questions. Is it at a chain park? It is not at a chain park. No. Is it, I assume that means extinct? It is actually defunct, so if that is the question, then yes, it is a defunct coaster. It is not in South America. It is not in China. It is not in Intamin, but it is a defunct coaster. So we at least have that down, which that's a pretty good one to get out of the way pretty quickly, first off, for sure. So for some reason, the questions are not, come on. Of course, they all come in at once. It is not Big Bad Wolf. Good guess. Is it an arrow? No. But good guess. Is it an SNS? No, it is not. It is not a Vekoma, and it is not in North America. So far we have defunct coaster, and that is it. Like I said, it is a bit obscure, but I have mentioned it here on the channel. So. Is it from a manufacturer that is still in existence? It's complicated. A lot of people see this manufacturer as defunct. They still exist, but they don't make new coasters. So, that's all I can do, basically. It was not made after 1980, so no, it was not. It is not in Australia. And it is not a wooden coaster. And it is not a Morgan. It is not a Schwarzkopf. So we have defunct coaster that is from a manufacturer in a weird state, I guess. It still exists but doesn't make coasters. It is not Jungle Storm, which, I mean, it is defunct, so you are on the right track, and it is not from PAX, so I'll get that out of the way. Yes, it is a Togo, so a defunct Togo. We're getting there. Defunct Togo coaster. That is not in North America, so yeah. Defunct Togo coaster that is not in North America. That is what we have so far. Let's see. It keeps doing the thing with the chat. Let's see. Let's see. Is it one of the pipeline ones? No, it is not. It's not one of those. Nope. Did it close in the last 5 years? It did, actually. It did close. It's not some sort of ultra twister, so no. It is a thrill coaster. It does invert. Like I said, it is a little bit on the obscure side, but I thought it was fine because I've actually mentioned it. It is a Togo, as I've mentioned. It is in Japan. So defunct Togo, that's thrilling in Japan. That is not an ultra twister. Like I said, this one is a little obscure, so yeah, let's see what comes in. Yeah, it won't get any more difficult than this, I don't think. It is not Bobster. No, that's not the one. Civilian Satellite got it first for me, at least as far as I can see. Momonga Staining and Loop Coaster is the correct answer. I did mention it, like I said, on the channel through the news, so that is the correct answer. You guys are on the right track asking if it was a stand-up. But yeah, Momonga Staining and Loop Coaster is the correct one. So I'm gonna find a new coaster that's hopefully a little easier than that one. I mean, it's easier, but it's still kind of. I do have my next coaster, so you can guess. And this one, yeah. Good luck to you all, I guess. Alrighty. Next coaster. I have my next coaster, so let's see. Oh, the defunct thing threw people off. I didn't even realize that because it closed so recently. That's probably why. I feel bad now. It's not an Ultra Twister. It is an Intamin, though. So we have Intamin Coaster. It is not Jet Coaster. It's not defunct. But so far for this new coaster, we have that it is an Intamin. It is not in North America. So, Intamin Coaster, that still exists, basically, is what we have. Is it in Asia? You could say so. It's debatable, but technically, yes, it is in Asia, and it is less than 200 feet, and it is launched. It is not a wooden coaster. So, launched Intamin, sort of in Asia. That should be a pretty big giveaway. Is it an Intamin family coaster? No. It's not a family coaster. It is not Conda. It's not Formula Rossa. That definitely is in Asia, the UAE. So, let's see. Is it in Sochi? No, it is not. It is not Sky Car. Shoot, did my sort of in Asia throw people off? I mean, I think it's considered in Asia, but it is debated. It is not Sky Car. It's not 13. It's not. I think you mean Steel Dolphin. It's not Speed Monster. Intamin launch coaster. That is. Did it open in 2018? No, it did not. It is not Shred the Sewers. I'm surprised. I would have thought that my clue sort of made it a giveaway. I mean, I think people are gonna be mad though when someone actually gets it. Let's see. Does it invert? It does invert, so yes. Come on, guys. Europe is not in Asia. Like I said, this one's kind of weird because some people debate this. I mean, if it makes anyone feel better, according to RCDB, this is a country in Asia, so for whatever that's worth. It's not Saturn. It still exists, and it has inversions, and it's a launch coaster. Not T-Express. It has inversions, and it's an Intamin, so it can't be. Chaos got it right. It is Nefis-Gessen. That was the first one I at least saw who got it right. Nefis-Gessen in Istanbul in Turkey. So there you go. Red Fire was another good guess. So there you go. Nefis-Gessen is the answer. Turkey is considered part of Asia. The only problem is there's a portion of it that they call Europe, and that's why I was like, I don't know what side of this is on. So yeah, it's hard. It's kind of hard, but I didn't know how to explain that one real well. I already have my next coaster, so this one should be a lot easier than the other ones. So put in your guesses. I think we'll do 2 to 3 more rounds after this. So yeah. And this one should not be that complicated. So, let's see. Is it a Mack coaster? No. Is it in North America? This one is in North America, and it is a B&M. So, it is a North American B&M coaster, not a kiddie coaster. Let's see what else is coming here. It's not Backlot Stunt Coaster. Love the random guess. Like I said, B&M coaster in North America. It's not Dominator. It is under 200 feet, so it's not a B&M invert, so no. So far we have B&M coaster in North America that's under 200 feet. Is it a clone? No, at least as far as I'm aware, it's not. It's not Montu. Yes, it is a floorless, sorta. Like, it has floorless trains, which I guess that was a little too much of a giveaway. But yeah, floorless trains. So yes, it is a floorless coaster. Does it invert? Yes, it does. It is not Tatsu. It's not Hydra. Chaos got it right again. I mean, typo, but Firebird is the correct answer. At least, yeah. Firebird is the correct one. So, yeah. So, Firebird at Six Flags America is the answer. So there you go. Good job on that, Chaos. All right, I already have my next coaster. Yeah, well, so including this one, we'll do 3 more. I have my next coaster. So ask away your questions. Yeah, and a lot. I know I have never ridden Firebird. I've heard that it's not very good, so I don't have very high expectations for it at all. But yeah, like I said, I have my next coaster, so ask away. Let's see. Not Zero. It is a steel coaster. It is not in Europe. Poor Europeans. It's not a wooden coaster. So we have steel coasters so far. It's not Coastersaurus at Legoland, Florida. It is a steel coaster in the US. Yes, so steel coaster in the US. We have that down. Let's see what comes in. Steel coaster in the US. Steel coaster in the US. Let's see. It is not an Intamin. It's not Lightning Rod. That one would be like but no, it's not Lightning Rod. That's Western or Eastern isn't yes or no, so I can't answer that. Yeah, let's see. Is it less than 200 feet tall? Yes. So, let's see. So far, steel coaster in the U.S. that is less than 200 feet tall. It's not steel curtain. Not a record breaker as far as I'm aware. Wasn't at the time, at least. Not that I can think of. Not a family coaster. Not Gerstlauer. Not a Giga. Is it in the Western U.S.? Yes, it is. So now Western U.S. steel coaster that is under 200 feet. It is not Storm Chaser. It's not an RMC. Ooh boy, this one's taking a little while longer than I would have thought. Mack Rides? No, not Mack Rides. Not West Coast Racers. Not X2. Let's see. Not Aftershock. Not at Lagoon. Have I ridden it? Yes, I have. I have ridden this coaster. It is at a Six Flags. So, yes. It's at a Six Flags on the western side of the U.S. Under 200 feet, and it's a steel coaster. It's not a racing coaster. It's not in-house. Is it a star attraction at its park? It's no one. I don't think very many people consider it to be the #1 coaster at its park. So if that's your question, then no. It's not Manta. It's not Kong. It's not Ninja. I would say it's one of the better coasters at the park though. But it's not Riddler's Revenge, not Silver Bullet. It is it's in NorCal. Oh shoot, okay. Oh my god, a lot of people got it at the same time, so okay. According to my thing, Quacken's Coaster Channel got it first, Medusa at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, but very closely followed behind Infinite Coasters and Phillip. It is indeed Medusa at Discovery Kingdom, and Coaster Platypus got it. It might be messed up. I don't know if that's the actual order it came in. But good job to the 4 of you getting it right there. So Medusa is the answer. So we're gonna do 2 more. Oh my god, another one. I got another one on the first try. Let's go. All right, so I have my next coaster, and this will be the second to last one. So there we go. Yeah, it's my favorite floorless coaster, pretty definitively. So yeah. Oh yeah, 2 floorless coasters in a row. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But I do have my next coaster. It's not Montu. It is a wooden coaster though, so we finally get a Woody. That's good. So wooden coaster. It's not a B&M floorless. Couldn't quite go 3 for 3. That would have been interesting to say the least. Let's see what other questions come in. Is it on, I assume you mean the West Coast. It is not. It is in the US though, so it's a wooden coaster in the US. It's not a GCI. It's not a Gravity Group or a CCI. It's none of those. It's not a PTC. Not Zip and Pippin. Good guess. I mean, it is a roller coaster. I mean, yes. Wooden coaster in the US. It's not RMC. It's not Thunderbolt at Six Flags New England. It's not Arkansas Twister. It's not Beast. Northern US. You could say it's more northern than it is. Technically, yes, but I don't know if a lot of people would call it northern US, but it's above the middle portion of the US, I guess. Is it cycling? I guess, is it still going? Yeah, it still exists. Is it at a major park? It's at a very well-known park, so I'd say so. North of Virginia. Yes, yeah, it's north of Virginia. Not Full Throttle. Does not race. It's not Hurler. Medusa Twister. I'm confused. Oh, okay. Andrew got it. It is Twister. Twister at Knoebels. That is the correct answer. Twister at Knoebels is the correct coaster. Pretty good guess, given we didn't even get to the other Knoebels coasters. So that's a pretty spot on guess, for sure. But with that being said, we're gonna do one last guess the coaster. Good job to Andrew for that. Let's see. I'll get a European coaster this time. I mean, that's already spoiling what country it's in, but I'll do that just to be nice, because I feel bad we've kind of left them out. Come on, RCDB, give me something. Nah, I ain't going with that. I got Hurricane in Belantis. That would have been funny because I mentioned it earlier, but nah, I'm not doing that. Shoot. Come on. Something come in. I'll get something eventually. Wow. RCDB does not like Europe today. I do not have my coaster yet, so do not like overwhelm me. I'm not going with that either. You know what? But I will go with nah, I'm gonna still random it. Yeah, I still don't have it. Okay, I finally got one. All right, this is gonna be a little obscure, but it's in Europe, so it's not as bad as some of the other ones. It's not Smiler, it's not Nemesis, it's not Ride to Happiness, it's not Wildfire, it's not Racer 75, it's not Oscar's Wacky Taxi, it's not an Intamin, it's not Alpengeist, and it's not Taiga. We already know it's in Europe. I established that, so it's a European coaster. So it is not from Mack Rides, no. Is it in a park with more than 5 coasters? Yes, it is. This park does have over 5 coasters. It is not in Finland, it's not in Germany, and it is not in France. Might have to think a little outside the box for this one. It's not at Alton Towers. It's not Jimmy Neutron Atomic Flyer. It's not, I can't even pronounce, but the coaster at Hansa Park. It's not that. Let's see what other questions come in. Let's see. Cuckoo Lane, good guess, not quite. It is not Cuckoo Lane. It is not a steel coaster, so now we have European wooden coaster. So there you go. It's not in England. It is not Conda. So European wooden coaster. Let's see. Vogel Rock. I probably butchered that. It is not that coaster. So European wooden coaster. Let's see. GCI. No, it's not a GCI. It's not in the UK. It's not Coaster Express. It's not Joris and the Drac, I think is what it's called. It's not a side friction coaster. It's not Colossus. So, what do we have so far? Just European wood coaster? I guess so. Like I said, this one's like kind of... It's not Balder. It's not Colorado Adventure. It is not a CCI or a GCI. It is not a Gravity Group. Keep guessing. But let's see. Spain, not in Spain. It's not Rushmanon in Denmark. Good guess though. It's not El Toro in Germany. Let's see. What else? So European wood coaster. It's not Din. So just European wood coaster is what we got. This one is pretty difficult, so I will at least say that. Loop Garou, it is not Loop Garou. It was not built before 2000. It is not, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it, but the coaster at Linnanmäki. USA Computer Tech got it right. It is Thunder Coaster. Wow. Alrighty. So yeah, Thunder Coaster at Tusen Fried, I think is how you pronounce it, in Norway is the correct answer. Good job there. Pretty obscure coaster, obviously. Just compared to the other ones anyways. And so that was our last Guess the Coaster. Hope you guys in the chat enjoyed that. And with that being said, we're gonna end this off with end of stream Q&A. So yeah, there we go. Any final questions you have, you can ask. It can be about IAAPA or anything really in general. And actually, shoot, there was something I wanted to ask, and I forgot. Oh yeah, basically I mentioned earlier, right, that I might do a stream like after IAAPA to kind of get my thoughts and reactions on what was announced, if it ends up being like a big sort of IAAPA this year. Would you as the viewers want to see that before the next coaster time? I suppose it won't affect the next coaster time episode in terms of when it'll be, because if it's not on the 27th, then it's just not gonna be. Yeah. So yeah, there we go. Anyways, so yeah, Q&A, and then yeah. What's the best oh, actually, shoot, I skipped one. I'll get to them. Let's see. Coaster Platypus. Have you had dreams about roller coasters? If so, how often? Yeah, I remember before I went to Cedar Point, I had these dreams, like these cursed dreams, where I went and like some horrible storm came in, and so it closed everything, and my trip was wasted. And I was just looking at the coasters. So that was the most memorable one. But yeah, I actually do. But usually they're like weird dreams where I see something, but I don't write it because something. But anyways, yeah. What's the best wooden coaster manufacturer, not including RMC? I wouldn't even put RMC at this point, given their issues. Like, I mean, I guess I have to go based off what I've ridden, because I haven't ridden an Intamin Woody, and so that just, and I haven't ridden Gravity. Well, if it's based off what I've ridden, I have to pick GCI, because most of their coasters I've ridden I would enjoy, but I think I might have to go with Gravity Group there. Intamin, they only made a few, so I think Gravity Group definitely looks like the best of the bunch, but GCI also looks great, so between them two, I would have to say. Yeah, let's see what else we have here. What do I think Frontier City will get for 2022? I don't know. I know, shoot, who mentioned it? Who had Frontier City as their home park? Or was close to it? Imperial Coasters, I think it was. I know that something was mentioned, how there was some stuff going on over there, but I really don't know. I don't know that they are going to get anything for 2022. If they get a new edition, I certainly think I would have to think like a Starflyer would have to be on the table. It just feels like they should have one and they don't. But I don't know. I mean, I if I had to guess, I don't think they're gonna get anything in 2022. So, yeah. What's my favorite E&F Myler kiddie coaster? Sea Serpent at Santa Cruz. That's my favorite one, by far. I really like that one. Do you think it's likely that nothing exciting will be announced at IAAPA that isn't something already confirmed to be announced? Like, I mean, like, if you're asking if nothing to like beyond what we already know and have like heard of with like the Gerstlauer and the Fun Spot, that's possible, certainly. But even if, it would still be pretty exciting, because I mean, the Gerstlauer is still like a total mystery at this point. We'll finally see the Fun Spot RMC. I think SNS is gonna do something. Like, I think even still, there's gonna be some good stuff, even if it's literally only what we know, which I can almost guarantee we're gonna get more. It would be pretty solid still. So, I mean, I don't want to put too like high of expectations for IAAPA for people, but I do think this year's is gonna be pretty good. So, and even if it isn't that much more than what we already know, then I mean, still, I would still love to know more about some of these coaster models that we that have been like kind of announced, but we know like next to nothing about, like new layout possibilities and stuff like that. Even if we get that, I would still call that a win, for sure. Let's see. What else there was? Let's see. He had a dream about going to Cedar Point, and there was this giant Skyline single rail there for some reason. That's pretty funny. And that someone wrote Steel Vengeance in their dream. That is the dream, literally. Let's see. Do I think any Western parks will end up purchasing anything from Golden Horse? I know they're trying to get that done. I just have no. I like over here, like West as in like North America. It would be very hard for me to see it. Maybe Europe because they actually have something like right there, but who knows? I just kind of doubt it, but you never know. Steel Vengeance, over or underrated? Honestly, it's like in this weird place now where a lot of people like actually like think like don't like it, but there's also people who still say it's like their number one coaster in the entire world. It is my number one. I don't know if it's the best coaster in the world, but it's my number one currently. But I think it's kind of the opinions have gotten pretty varied, so I'd say it's about where it should be because I feel like it's pretty equal in the people who think it's best ever and then people that think it's not even like that good of an RMC or that or like a world-class coaster. Let's see. What park do I think will get the first new generation thrill Vekoma in the US? Ooh. I'd feel like, I mean, Six Flags has worked with S&S. I feel like they would want to ask at some point, hey, can we get a Vekoma? If not, probably some sort of independent park maybe would be willing. But I would say probably Six Flags. I think they'd like to try them out. But yeah. What is my favorite dive coaster? I've only ridden Valraven unless you count Hang Time, and I don't really like Valraven, so I prefer Hang Time if that is considered a dive coaster, and Hang Time I like it, but I think some people make it out to be a little more than what it really is. It's a fun coaster, but it's nothing like too incredible in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts there. So we have reached 6 o'clock. Any last questions? Put them in the last next 2 minutes, and then I'll probably end the stream here, just about. So yeah. Opinions on Harvest Express coaster. What is this? I haven't even heard of this thing. I'll look it up on RCDB real quick. Oh, okay. So this used to be an ENF miler. Looks more than a little bit of a larger scale than their usual kiddie coasters that I'm used to seeing. It looks actually pretty solid now looking at it. It's certainly something that I wouldn't have mind having ridden. So I didn't know anything about it before, but looks like I'd want to ride it for sure. I think ENF Miler has the best kiddie coasters. I actually like their kiddie coasters a good bit, so yeah, I actually do find them enjoyable. Which coaster do you think most deserves a new paint job? Oh my goodness, there's so many coasters getting either repainted or a new paint job right now. Ooh. I'm probably gonna go with ones that I remember seeing. Man, that is actually tough. There's there's some that I feel like that are obvious and I'm forgetting them right now. I think Goliath at Magic Mountain could get its paint touched up in some spots pretty desperately, but do I really think that's the most deserving? I don't know about that. That is actually really difficult. I think this question has come up a few times, and I've always kind of like struggled to think of one. I would say like Tatsu could have used it, but I really don't like the new green they're doing with that. I really don't know, honestly, outside of those that I mentioned. Like I actually really don't know. Six Flags Fiesta Texas Dive Coaster. What do I think about it? I think it's a good addition for them. I did my reaction. It's my most viewed live stream, of course. Even though I did it very spontaneously. It's a good addition for the park. And you know, I'll give it a chance for sure because I'm not a fan of B&M dive coasters based off my one experience on Valraven. It's a very good addition for them, and at the very worst, hopefully it'll take the lines away from Iron Rattler and Golden Lasso Coaster. What do I think of the Bizarro retheme? I absolutely despise it. If it's really gonna be Riddler themed, like that actually sucks. Because that was the only Bizarro themed coaster in the chain at this point. And it's weird, like so like Six Flags, it's like their DC characters they're now using all over the place. It's like I mean I guess Joker is I would still say Joker's up there. Joker, Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn, and Riddler. Like, I get the other three, but like, why are they using Riddler so much out of the blue? I know he's in the new Batman movie, but that's like a very different Riddler compared to like this like green pajamas version of him that they're using for the ride. So I don't really get it why all of a sudden they're like using him like crazy. And I really dislike it here for sure. I'm surprised we haven't gotten any questions related to I mean not coaster related at all, but like about the whole YouTube dislike count thing, because I know that's like a big thing. I might have to leave that for next time. But because we are getting toward the end here. Let's see. Did you know that Thunderbird is the last B&M built in North America that isn't a dive or a hyper or giga? Didn't really think about it like that, but yeah, I guess you're right. That is interesting for sure. Yeah, because like obviously we had Orion. I feel like I'm forgetting. Thunderbird was made. Shoot, was it 2014? I don't know why I'm blanking out. Was it 2014, 2016? What was it? 2015, of course. I missed it. So Mako would have been made after that. We're getting Dr. Diabolicals. We got Orion. And then we got Yukon Striker. And we got Valraven. So yeah, that is pretty surprising when you look at it like that. For sure. And then what's up with Six Flags and repainting stuff lime green? Yeah, like the Bizarro, I don't know which one I dislike more. Like Bizarro, I actually thought like the color scheme looked solid. So seeing it in that green is like kind of gross. But the Tatsu supports, like it looks disgusting and not in a good way. Like it legitimately looks awful. So maybe they got like lime green paint in bulk and they're just like, oh, we gotta use it. We got it for a good deal. I'm sort of kidding, but like I don't know what's up with that. It is very weird. But yeah, I mean yeah, Six Flags. I do not like the lime green painting moves they have made recently, but I think that's gonna wrap it up for the stream. Thank you so much to everyone who of course was watching, but also those who came on. It was awesome to do that, and that went pretty well, so definitely something I'm gonna look back to for in the future. And also, we're very close to 2,000 subs. Maybe I hit it during the stream and don't know it. I kind of doubt it, but who knows? But would like to get there very soon. And with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time here on Coaster Hour.